This tutorial focuses on -2 commands. If you have not already viewed the Introduction to Commands tutorial and the Affirmative 2 Commands tutorial, you should watch those before you watch this one. If you have seen those tutorials, then you learned that Affirmative 2 commands are pretty simple to use. You just have to take the third person singular form of a verb, and that's basically your Affirmative 2 command. There are some irregulars. -2 commands require a little bit more work than that. There are 3 steps that we have to follow to create a -2 command. Step 1 is to conjugate the verb in the jo form. Step 2 is to cut off the o. And step 3 is to add es if it's an AR verb, and add AS if it is an ER or an IR verb. So we see that that part's a little bit unusual, because for AR verbs we'll go with ES, for ER and IR verbs we go with AS. That's kind of opposite of what we're used to, but these are the steps that we need. Of course, since we are creating negative commands, we will also have to put the word no in front of our command. I don't have that as one of the steps here, but it is an important part. Let's take a look at some examples. I've put some verbs down here in the corner that we're going to use, and I've left the steps up here at the top. Let's say, for instance, that we want to say don't eat. Then our first step is going to be to take our verb and conjugate that in the jo form. The verb to eat is comer. The jo form of comer is como, so that's step 1. Step 2 is to cut off the o. And step 3 is to add es if it's an AR verb, or AS if it's an ER or IR verb. Comer is an ER verb, so we're going to add AS. Don't forget that we also said that we have to put no in front of it to make it negative. So that means that our command is no comas. That means don't eat. To say don't talk, we would follow the same steps, except this time we're going to use hablar for to talk. So the jo form of hablar is hablo. Then step 2, we cut off the o. And step 3, since it's an AR verb, we'll add es. Again, we need to put no in front of that. Capitalize and add a period, and we've got a good command here. No hables, don't talk. Now venir is going to give us an interesting challenge. Let's take a look at that. Venir means to come. So if we were saying don't come, we're still going to follow the same steps. But it turns out that the jo form of venir is irregular. It is vengo. So we need the jo form vengo. Then we cut the o off of that. Then venir is an IR verb, so we're going to add AS to it. And of course we add no. And put a period at the end. And there's our command, no vengas, don't come. As you may have suspected, there are some irregular -2 commands. All of these -2 commands are irregular because we can't possibly follow the rules with these. Because the jo form of these verbs does not end with o, therefore we can't cut the o off and add our new ending. For instance, we have doy as the jo form for dar, estoy for the jo form for estar, and so forth. So we have to memorize these irregular -2 commands that we see here. No des, no estés, no vayas, no sepas, no seas. Some of these are more common than others, but you should be familiar with them, and you should memorize this list. So again, our 3 steps for preparing the verb for a -2 command are to take the present tense jo form of the verb, cut off the o, and add es for AR verbs or AS for ER and IR verbs. And of course, we don't want to forget to add no in front of our command to make it negative. Keep in mind also that there are those irregulars that we looked at just a minute ago that you will have to practice and study and memorize.